After all that dooming with the Vuskovic video yesterday, we've got some more good news to talk about. We're back on track as a football club, and I'm really excited to just dig in and talk about it. If we start here with the Pedro Porro news, I mean, I'm just gassed about this, I'm not going to lie. I think Pedro Porro's had a couple off seasons. I know there's a quality player in there, and I know he's not been terrible compared to the rest of the squad, but I'm really excited by this. It shows that we still have that big club energy about us. You know, you think back to when Kyle Walker left us for City. We were still really good when he left us to go to City. We've just finished 17th twice, and Porro is now staying on until probably 2032, unless he falls off. Now, that is just brilliant news to start the day off. I was very, very happy. We knew this was in the works. A lot of people were talking about this. I saw SZY, Sizzy, he was saying stuff about this, and obviously now it's been confirmed by Fab. I'm sure the club will make an announcement at some point today. I think this is just a brilliant sign of intent from the club. Again, I spoke about this when we were signing Senesi and Robertson a couple of days ago last week. I think this is just really, really good to see. You can't help but feel positive when you read stuff like this. I've just realised this is the first time you guys send me in the light. I figured I can now have my curtains open and the lighting and my frames won't drop and everything like that, so that's good. Make sure you don't go down, leave a like and a comment, subscribe and all that good stuff. But yeah, that part's out of the way, the Porro stuff. I'm very glad about that. I think that just shows brilliant intent from the football club. Now, there are some other things that I wanted to talk about today. We'll go over to this one now. As I said, SZY, Sizzy, however you want to say it. He was the one that broke the Porro news with the contract. Got everyone a bit excited because he also mentioned a Van de Ven contract. Now, he's been bang on with the Porro contract. Van de Ven, if we can get Van de Ven to sign a contract, that is going to be incredible. Obviously, it does look like Van de Ven's staying now. He's still young for a centre-back, and he's already part of that leadership group, that core leadership group. And at one point this season, I thought his head was out the door. I was done with him. After the Palace penalty and red card, I was done. He just looked like he didn't care anymore. But hey, what do I know? Because here he is, talking about signing a new contract under Zerbi, really pushing us forward as a club. It shows the difference. Our club captain, Romero, he's only cares about Argentina and getting his move by the looks of it. And you got Van de Ven, a young, unique centre-back. He's brilliant on the ball, brilliant at recovering and everything like that. Just such a great mould for a centre-back. Strong, tall, good in the air-ish. Either way, I just think this is incredible. These two contracts, just after finishing 17th, I would have expected to see a lot of the heavy hitters move on. Unfortunately, that's just what I expected. I thought, you know, they're not going to be looking at us like an attractive club to pay for right now. Even though we can pay them decent wages, I didn't see the cohesion anymore. And I kind of thought, oh, you know, they'll be on their way. But no, obviously the Porro contract announced. Looks like Van de Ven might be next. And then we've also heard that, Van Hecke might be today. Did I save that? Yeah, okay, that's Savinho. Van Hecke might be today, says he was saying as well. We might get, not announced today, but we might get an exclusive on that today that's happening. What's happening with him and Vuskovic, we don't know. If we bring in Van Hecke, unfortunately, I do just see us getting rid of Vuskovic. And God, that annoys me because I really want to keep him. I really need to see that guy playing a Spurs shirt, but I'm done with that saga now. I had my rant yesterday. I'm done with it. I think that's over now. We're probably going to be selling him. Might as well look positive, look forward, use that money on a good striker, good winger, good midfielder, whatever it is. I mean, Fabrizio released a nothing burger kind of thing yesterday. He was saying that there's big plans for midfield at Tottenham. Basically means I don't know anything, but I know they want to sign a midfielder. Either way, it's still some positive news, I guess. So you can't really complain about that. Now, next, this I actually find really intriguing. I kind of like this, actually. Just kind of opening tabs and just going through the tweets I've seen in the past day. Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't know if you can see the Owen tweet on the screen, but he is completely right. I completely agree with him. When this news broke, I actually tweeted yesterday. I said, I just don't see it. I don't see why we're doing it. It's never going to end well. Even if we sign Gibbs-White, it's not what we need. Gibbs-White is not the player that we need. If anything, Anderson's the player we need, and we're not going to sign Anderson. We don't need Gibbs-White. We've got 3 people capable of playing the 10 in Xavi Simons, Maddison and Kulusevski. God knows when Xavi and Kulu will be fit, but they can. Even Mikey Moore can play the 10. We've seen Odebear playing the 10. We've got creative players, and as much as I like Gibbs White, we don't need him. That transfer fell through. We've got Xavi Simons instead. We need to move on from that. We need to move on for the Morgan Gibbs White saga. However, something else Paul O'Keefe has said, we're also interested in Rashford. And who else did he say? I think I've got it written down somewhere. Let me see. He also said Igor Thiago. They were the two. I don't know. Rashford, I do like the Rashford thing. I'm not set on Igor Thiago. I guess it would depend on how many 3 p.m. kickoffs we get next year. But seriously, I'm just not really set on him, I don't think. Obviously, you cannot deny the shift that he's done at Brentford. Fully deserves his call up to the Brazil squad. Brilliant player this season. And yeah, as I said, I just don't think I've seen enough to warrant us going and splashing. I mean, what they spent, it might have been their most expensive signing, wasn't it? They spent 30 million and then he was injured for a season and then he came back and was firing this season. They would be expecting north of 80 million. I could see them asking for 100 million for him. I don't think he's a player that warrants that price tag. So again, but Rashford, I really do like, because Barca have now taken on Gordon, so they don't want him. He's probably not going to be staying at United. I know there were talks of loaning him back out. Whether we could get him on loan and then buy him next season, I think, is his contract almost up? So maybe we could even get him on a free. I can't remember exactly. But the Rashford signing I do like. Good dynamic to have in the squad. English, again, we're kind of lacking on wingers at the moment. This brings me into the last part that I've seen. The Savinho news, I'm getting worried. Do not worry. Huge. That is just brilliant news, because I've not heard anything about the Savinho deal going on at the moment. That is huge news for us. I don't need to go back into detail about Savinho. He's a very Zerbi coded winger. I was worrying that might fall through, but if we can get him and then maybe get Rashford on loan, that would be brilliant. It's almost like last summer when we bought in Kudus and then we got Kolomwani on loan, but two players. I mean, I'm not going to say Savinho is better than Kudus. Rashford is much better than Kolomwani, much more clinical, a great character to have in the squad. I think that would be a brilliant signing to bring in, even if it is on loan. I just think that'd be amazing. And then also here, this is what I said a minute ago. They're saying, or Sizzy is saying that Van Hecker should be done by Sunday, which, fingers crossed. I really need that deal to be done. Not because I really want Van Hecker. I'm just tired of I think the World Cup is playing a big part in this. We're slowing everything down. Maybe Brighton obviously don't actually want to sell Van Hecker either. But I think the fact that everything's slowing down is making me a bit worried, considering we had such a fast start and then it kind of is reining back in. But now it seems to have picked up again with the contract. If we can then get the Van de Ven contract, as I said, it's just going to be brilliant all round from us. And I'm actually just feeling more positive after the glum video that I made yesterday, just annoyed about the Vuskovic situation. That's not even in my mind anymore. If Vuskovic goes, it is what it is. We're onwards and upwards. We're building something here, and I'm really excited. Now, my next video that I'm going to make, hopefully tomorrow, I'll be posting it. Maybe Tuesday, don't know yet. Is going to be a kind of an in-depth about the situations we can expect to see, the formations that we're expected to play under the Zerbi next season. I've done quite a bit of research on what to expect, so I'm really excited to make that video. But yeah, I just wanted to, again, yesterday was a rant. Today was just me being all happy and excited because we're actually making moves again. This isn't just being glum about Vuskovic. This is just being excited about what we've got coming up. And yeah, hopefully England are going to be having a great game this week. I'm excited for that. Watching the World Cup recently has been quite fun. Obviously, I do work full-time, unfortunately, so I can't watch all the games, but I did stay up to watch the Brazil game yesterday. That was just brilliant. Just watching that. Morocco and Brazil, both brilliant football teams. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you go down, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's a short one again. I just enjoy talking to the camera. I got excited, so I thought I'd click record and I'll just go for it and I'll just chuck this in editing and post it today. But yeah, appreciate you guys. See you in the next one.